Hi everyone! Okay, so today I am doing a video on synthetic dreads, like an FAQ, frequently asked questions. I get a lot of questions all the time about certain things like how do I wash them, what are they, how are they installed, how long can I wear them for, are they heavy, you know, things like that. So I decided to make a video to address those. So let's get started. So the first question is ways to install dreads. There are a couple different kinds of dreads and different ways to install them. I have a video which I'll put in the info bar below that I made about 2 months ago, which shows how my friend installed these dreads for me. There are a couple different ways to install dreads, so and ways to wear them. So it depends on the kinds of dreads. So these ones are double-ended dreads, which is a really long dread, and you actually install it in the middle of the dread, so it makes two. So it gives a lot of volume compared to single-ended dreads. Single-ended dreads, I don't have one here, but they're just like one dread with a little loop at the end, and you stick your, like you take your square, you split it into two, and you put the hair down, one of the hair sides down the loop, if that makes any sense. And then you braid it like a regular braid, like with three strands. And that one doesn't create as much volume. These ones create a lot of volume because you can put a lot, I guess it depends on your hair thickness, but you can put a lot more dreads on your head then. And then there's also dread falls. Now dread falls are like temporary, basically. These are temporary too, but they're really temporary. You can wear them for the night. Basically what you do is you make a bun, and then the dread falls come on an elastic or a rope or a string, and I don't know, you can have some various amounts on there and stuff. And what you do is you tie it around the bun, and so it gives kind of the effect that you have dreads, like a dread ponytail, basically. How long can I wear, or how long you can wear dreads for? Depends on the dreads, actually. I've had a lot of luck with these dreads. These ones are made by Icy Dreads, and she is a dread maker in Norway. And these are the most comfortable dreads I've ever worn. The only dreads I've worn before are ones that I've made, and they've been so itchy. So I've only really tolerated wearing them for a maximum of 4 weeks before I just couldn't handle the itchiness anymore. And the way she makes her dreads, they're not itchy at all. The only time my scalp gets itchy is like if it's time to wash it. So that being said, you can wear them up to like from 2 to 3 months. But after about 8 weeks or 6 weeks and stuff, you may want to get them retightened. I've been wearing these since the end of June, and it is now towards the end of August. And my friend who installed them, Maeve or Snippins, she actually tightened them about 2 weeks ago. So I found that they're getting a little bit too loose because your hair grows about half an inch or a little over a centimeter every month. And so you'll notice that the gap gets kind of long. And when the gap gets kind of long, there's like a chance of your hair actually dreading itself. So it's important to either remove your dreads before then or get them retightened. How to wash. You'll notice that when you wear them, your scalp doesn't get as oily, or you don't notice it as much because your hair is not rubbing together everywhere and everything like that, and you don't get the greasy roots. But you do need to wash your scalp because it does get oily and it does build up skin cells and everything like that, which can get really itchy. So it's a good idea to wash it, you know, like from every week to week and a half. 2 weeks is pushing it because that's when my head gets like super itchy and I really need to wash it. I will take my hair and I'll put it into 4 buns. And what I'll do is I'll cover the buns with a Ziploc bag, or each one with a Ziploc bag. And then I take a bottle, probably about that big, with like a little nozzle, and I'll put like a really tiny amount, like 1/10 amount of a shampoo. The one that I usually use is Neutrogena's anti-residue shampoo. And I use that one because it's a really strong detergent and it doesn't leave a residue, which also can leave your scalp really itchy later on. I cover them up and I have them kind of like sticking out like this way because I wash my hair in a big sink, like a kitchen sink. So I want my scalp, mix that shampoo water mix up, but 1/10 shampoo, 9/10 water, and then I'll pour it all at the root and everything like that. And then I just like gently massage it with my fingers everywhere. And I massage it probably about 5 minutes, just make sure I get everywhere. And then I'll run my hair or my head underneath the tap for probably 5 to 10 minutes again, because I want to make sure I get rid of all the shampoo residue. Otherwise that can, you know, make your scalp really, really itchy if you leave something on it. I don't recommend using a dry shampoo because that can leave a lot of buildup. And then after that, I just leave the buns in. I like remove the Ziploc bags and I just leave the buns in for a while because I don't want to let it down because I'm afraid it's gonna drip everywhere, because it drips for like at least an hour. So when you're gonna wash your scalp, make sure that you have a good couple hours where you don't have to go out because your dreads will drip. And after probably about an hour, I'll remove the buns and everything and start letting everything else dry, because then usually it's not dripping too much anymore. Everything's just kind of dripped down to the towel. And yeah, that's basically it. Make sure you let it dry thoroughly. It takes probably about almost 24 hours for it to dry. It takes a long time because you can feel that the hair, like where it's braided and stuff, stays wet for a while. But yeah, that is how I wash it. And then another question I get all the time is how to make synthetic dreads. I've made synthetic dreads and everything. It's very, very time consuming. There's a lot of videos on YouTube on how to make synthetic dreads, like all different kinds of synthetic dreads, like natural looking synthetic dreads, the twisted synthetic dreads, like all different styles, curly, all that. So yeah, just search it on YouTube and stuff and you'll find a lot of resources on it. The one thing I do suggest about making synthetic dreads is not to trim off all like once you make it and make it nice and smooth. Not to trim off all the ends and everything, all the things that are sticking out, because I think that is what made my head really itchy with my dreads. Dealing with the itch. Now with my previous dreads, I had a lot of itch. I haven't had that issue with this, but my suggestion is to avoid itching. And don't use mint, actually. A lot of people say use peppermint spray and things like that. But from my experience, that would just make a rash worse than it is. So if you've already been scratching it or you broke skin or anything like that, then it just makes it worse. But yeah, just start doing something else. Change what you're doing, because you're just like focusing on scratching, and that is not good. So just try to meditate and everything like that, and hopefully it'll just go away. Another question I get is, are they heavy? Depends. Depends on how many you have in. It depends on, like, icy dreads are actually really soft and light and fluffy. I really like that. And like other dreads can be, you know, like the tighter they are and bigger they are, the more heavy they are. Sleeping with dreads. So what I do when I sleep with my dreads is either I keep it up in a bun like this, or I just let it all down. I know some people wrap their dreads, but I don't bother with that because it's like this big cumbersome thing behind your head and stuff, and I don't really like that. So yeah, I just either let them down and sleep like that, or yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's like, how do I shower? Like basically what I do is I just put it up like this, and I put a plastic shopping bag, because that's the only thing that I cannot find a shower cap big enough. Plastic shopping bag around my head and clip it with a hair clip, and yeah, that is how I shower. Removing the dreads. So when it's time for you to remove the dreads and you're sick and tired of them, or you know, you have to, you know, give your scalp a good wash and comb out your hair and everything. What I do is I usually start from the top, and I'll like pull the elastic out, and then I have a little pair of scissors, and then I just snip off the elastic, and then I can easily unbraid them. It takes anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. I wouldn't suggest snapping the elastic like I've read in some places and stuff, because that can actually tear your hair and give you some split ends and everything. You want to keep your hair as nice as possible. And then when you'll have these really, really tight little curls, and I don't suggest brushing it out yet. I suggest taking a shower. So going into the shower, wetting your hair, adding a lot of conditioner to your hair, and then kind of combing it out. You'll notice that a lot of hair comes out because every day you lose 60 to 100 hairs on your head that naturally fall out. So you have all that buildup. Plus you probably have like some hairs that have been pulled out a little bit, you know, because of the weight of the dreads and everything. but I haven't noticed a lot of hair loss. And if I have had some hair loss, it's grown back. Like, you know, I have all these nice little short hairs and stuff that have like given me lots of volume actually. It grows back pretty fast. And after I remove my dreads, I usually throw all my dreads into a hand washing bag, and then I throw them into my washing machine and I just use regular washing detergent. And then what I do is I just hang dry them all. I take them out immediately and just hang dry them, and they're fresh and clean for the next install. Yeah, if I missed anything, if I did, then ask below in the comments and stuff, and I'll try to reply. I'll try my hardest. I'm kind of busy and stuff with work now and everything, but yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys found this useful, and yeah, see you guys later.